We're back inside the construction zone of the New Frontiers Ag Hall that will soon be open to students come this fall. And we're following up again with Nick Ouellette with Landscape Services. Thank you for joining us out here
Pleasure.
and letting us in this construction area. But we're at a critical point, right? A lot of the construction's starting to wrap up. Tell us what the next phase is.
I really do feel this is probably the most crucial part of, the most important obstacle that most people probably don't even realize how important it really is. I mean, in order to have your soil have the right type of soil for the right type of plant material, so it's the bed prep brand. Getting that is just leads to the success and maintenance of overall of your plant health. So that's where we're here getting started on today. As you can kind of see behind me, we have different types of soil. Again, this is our bed prep. So basically, every spot that you see that is a planting bed around the building has different types of soil and different types of amendments that are specified based on the plant material today.
Okay, so we've got kind of some concrete edging that's going to differentiate the planting bed from, we're standing in what will be a turf grass lawn area?
That's exactly right. So this area here, we've got down about 3 or so inches. And we're going to come in after we finish the bed prep of the planting beds, which is going to be up in this little area on the south side. And we'll come in and then finally grade this as well and prepare it for some turf.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going into your bed preparation. Obviously, you're wanting to cater it towards the plants you've selected, whether they're the pH or the organic matter, but let's talk about the components you're putting in some of that.
That's right. So we have a sandy loam, which is what we have kind of in this pile right over here.
Okay.
And that was mixed in with some compost that actually comes from our campus. So it's the leaf matter, organic matter that we are trimming, doing the trimmings on, or if we have an ice storm or windstorm, or we got to remove some trees, clean up those leaves in some certain areas. All of that comes back to our compost yard. It is then broken down into good compost that we are able then to mix into our planting beds.
Okay, and is it a matter of just putting it straight onto the existing soil, or what's the
That's a great
grading?
question. So it depends on the plants about how deep we really want to go, but the deeper we can go, the better.
Okay.
It's really, whenever we're on a site like this, we have 100% or 99% compacted construction soil.
Yeah.
And so there's not much aeration, water flow, drainage of any sort occurring on this here. It's basically just running right off.
Which means plant roots can't really get into that either.
This is anaerobic conditions,
Yeah.
not suitable for most plants, I would say. And so what we're trying to do is really get in there with these backhoes that you see behind me and scarify that, which is basically the process of breaking, loosening that up, and getting in some good soil that is more beneficial with whatever we're trying to amend for those plants.
Okay, are you doing that both before and kind of as you're adding, incorporating it a little bit, or is there a gradient there, a
so
line?
We've had the general
Interface.
contractor that has gone through and prepped the initial grade based off of our civil plans, and we have left certain planting beds to be at a depth of maybe 8 inches, I'd say, on the one behind us here.
Okay.
And so that's where we're starting our scarification, and the breaking of the soil is at about 8 inches below final grade of where that mulch layer will be.
Okay, well, and obviously we haven't talked irrigation. That's got to go in the soil somewhere. So when is that going in?
So we have exterior of the building's done. We have a lot of the storm infrastructure or the utility infrastructure in place. Now we have our irrigation. That is in process as we speak. We're just getting ready to start that, boring underneath critical sidewalks, underneath certain areas to get into each planting bed. So every bed, every turf space, every green space has got irrigation. So we have to stub up our main line and laterals, and that's occurring already.
Okay, so that's starting to happen as well, which obviously with heavy equipment, you still got to be careful with working around all of that, I would imagine too.
It makes it a little difficult over here. Not only do we have our crews still working here, they've got furniture going in, so there's a lot of stuff interior going in. And then we still have people on the outside still doing the final touches of the windows and the roof, and so it makes it for a very challenging. So we have to really work together. We work with the project manager, knowing which area we're going to start in, telling them the scope of how long it's going to take, and we transition then all the way around the building to kind of make sure we hit every spot that we need to.
All right, so you're kind of staging it so you all can get your work done. Well, I know last time we were filming on the east side, and there's still a little activity, but there's also a few new additions back there. Can you tell us a a little bit about those.
The east side is going to be well used, I think, by the students. We have a big plaza area there, a main pathway that's a corridor that kind of connects the areas through campus. And on that plaza area, we have what is called a living wall. And it's a wall that's about 10 foot tall, 30 feet wide,
Wow.
and it's going to have about 200 and some individual plants on it that make a special design that we change throughout the season. And I think it'll just add to the atmosphere and kind of create the social ambiance that gets people engaged.
Absolutely. So you're going vertical with some of the plants
Going
as
vertical
well.
with plants, it's you got to have some fun, exciting things out there, and I think this will be an opportunity to get your pictures taken next to it.
Absolutely.
And just kind of provide that grand entry into the Dairy Bar Plaza. It's another main entry on campus, so I think it's going to look and feel fantastic for the students.
That's awesome and exciting. So next step is planting. We'll check back with you on that.
Can't wait to see some plants go in the ground, but we got a lot of work here ahead of us.
Absolutely.
So
Well, I'll let you get
there.
back to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.